What in the world is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are the newly rebranded Fantasy Friends podcast. The EJC NFL pod has been dropped because we're all kind of friends in fantasy football, or we might just be fantasy friends. I'm not sure about that yet. I've only known these guys forever. But we got an awesome mock draft show for y'all tonight. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of let y'all introduce yourselves and say, are you living strong? You living wrong? How you living? Tran, what's up, bro?
What's going on, everybody? Name's Tran. Been friends with you guys for a while. Uh, I'm living everything at this point with all the damn vacations that have been going on.
It's been a lot.
Just bragging over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I see you. Jason, what's up, brother?
I'm living strong. I'm Jason, and I'm here to make sure Eric doesn't misinform you people.
Jay?
What's up, guys? I guess 10 plus year fantasy football player, friends with a few of these guys here, so looking forward to this draft.
And we got so we're all boys over here, us four. We have a fantasy friend of ours coming on the show, Evan Ritter. He writes for me over at Going for Two. He handles the some DFS, some betting stuff. How you doing, Evan?
Good, fellas. Good. Thanks for having me on, man. Ready to get this thing started. I'm drafting from the one spot. Like I said, I appreciate you having me here. Let's go ahead and get this thing started.
It's a big mystery who you're going to take, huh?
Yeah.
We ain't got a clue.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of baffled right now, but hopefully I can figure it out.
You'll figure it out. All right. Well, we ain't got no news, no segments, nothing like that to say tonight. We're going to get directly into it because we have some awesome folks in the Twitter sphere and the Clubhouse sphere that are drafting with us. So y'all bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and share this screen here. All right.
Wow.
So look at this. So fancy. We're fancy over here. So we're ready to start this draft. We're going to go ahead and kick it off. Evan at the 101.
All right. So I'm sure everyone knows where I'm going. We're going to do good old CMC here right from the gate. We know he was riddled with injuries last year. That doesn't take him out of the number one spot. I mean, in the games that he did appear in, he scored 20-plus points. He's just a all-around monster, PPR, standard, everything. I have him projected for, close to 100 receptions again, easily. CMC all the way at number one. Let's go ahead and get that locked in. Come on, if my phone works with me here.
So listen, this is our first time sharing screen and doing all that, so we'll be working through some technical difficulties.
There we go.
That's all right. And then my boy Alex goes freaking Dalvin Cook
with the quickness.
With the quickness, and we got my man Kyle over here. It doesn't say he's online yet, but that's all right. But he's picking at the 3. I think the 3 is still you got a ton of value there. This is a half point. I should have said that earlier. This is a half point PPR league. We're just doing 14 roster spots. Very, very simple construction. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and I believe we have 2 flexes in there as well. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bench spots. We're not picking no kickers. We ain't picking no daggum defenses here. We're keeping it offensive. All right. What would y'all do at the 3 spot?
Well, I'd just like to say I like the Dalvin Cook picking too, because don't know if Derrick Henry's going to have, almost 400 touches again. I doubt it with Julio Jones coming on board, but
no,
yeah, and different OC. But yeah, I actually like Alvin Kamara right here because yeah, I just think it's you got a better situation than he already had.
A better situation, you say?
I think so. More touches, more opportunity.
Even without Drew Brees there?
I think so, yeah. I think they'll have more opportunity.
Yeah, without Brees, they might lean on him more,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll get more carries. I think the accuracy in the passing may go down a little bit. Brees just littered him with accurate targets. But I think he'll definitely get more carries.
So we had Alvin Kamara. There we go. Kyle, he auto picked, but he still picked Alvin Kamara, which I think was a consensus right pick.
Yep.
And then at 4, we had Derrick Henry go off the board with the quickness there.
Was that to Keith?
That was to Keith. Yes, exactly.
All right. Applause. Nothing but applause.
So we knew that was going to happen, but I'm
yeah.
I'm at 5 here, and let me just say I really hate the middle of the whole draft. It's my least favorite spot to be besides number 1. Some years, this year it's a little bit more straightforward, but I'm kind of like in a bind right now whether or not I kind of break from like the running back train or not. But I kind of still feel like they're strong and there's still some good value here, so I probably will go running back, even though I am slightly tempted to go receiver. But Saquon and Jonathan Taylor are probably more what I'm aiming at. Saquon coming off of his injury is a little bit concerning for me. I just don't know enough about it, haven't done enough research about it, so I'm going to go with the hot hand and Jonathan Taylor here.
Oh, wow.
And hope that Carson Wentz should reinforce, kind of his is it his second year or?
Yeah, this will be his second year.
Yeah, so his second year there. Yeah. So
then we had Jonathan Taylor at the 105. Saquon Barkley was picked real quick at 106.
Yep.
And this is following a familiar trend. Oh, wow.
God forsake.
So we had Tyreek Hill go off at the 107. This from all the mock drafts I've done, we have tons of running backs off the board in that early first round stage. But Jason, what are you thinking here at the 108?
Oh, I've come to love this position. The 2 reasons why, really 3 reasons why. You got Nicholas Chubb, who you can trust. Okay, you had a nice little article about him yourself there, Eric. Very good article. But Nick Chubb is a guy I really trust. Ezekiel Elliott is a guy who I expect to turn around a little bit. And Aaron Jones, with or without Rodgers, we actually covered that on this show. Aaron Jones with or without Rodgers is yes. So you can't go wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and take Nick Chubb. It's what I've been taking in the few mocks that I've done at 8. And, yeah, it seems to work out great every time.
I love it. I love it. All right, yeah. Tran is on the clock here at the 109. What are you thinking? Do you want to continue the running back trend here, or are you trying to
It's a tough call because, I've got another pick within, 1, 2, 3, 6 more. I think I'll probably end up going with Aaron Jones. I do like a situation with Aaron Rodgers possibly being gone, because the more Rodgers, likelihood of being gone is it's going to give Aaron Jones more touches, more than likely, especially with Jordan Love possibly taking over. We know Cam likes Jordan Love, but, with Aaron Jones getting so many more touches, it's going to give him the potential to have more carries, more yards, more touchdowns, etc.
And so for me, of course, Bob goes ahead and he takes the last running back I'm comfortable taking in the first round, being Ezekiel Elliott. This is a trend. I'm not a big fan of the 111 spot. So for my folks picking at the 111, I'm going to do something that it might be a little bit not traditional. But this player gives you such a positional advantage. I'm going with Travis Kelce here.
It is the train pick.
And let me tell you why. He averaged 3.5 more PPR fantasy points per game than the second place person. That was Darren Waller. 3.5 points more per game that's such a positional advantage. And I don't see any reason why that would change whatsoever. He's still, I would say he's the number 1 target there in Kansas City. So I'm curious how this is going to, how my team composition is going to look taking a tight end so early, because I am not a proponent of that. But to me, this seems like kind of the best value on the board there, because I don't want to reach for Devontae Adams right there, because I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be there in 2021. If he was, that's a smash no-brainer pick. But let's go with Travis. And this is a mock draft, y'all. Let's just see what happens. How about that?
Yep.
And then we got my man Dan Turner there. He is gone. Oh my gosh. He's such disappointment. Listen, my disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Well, let's talk about the Kelsey pick while we wait. I did want to say a few things on that. Like, I completely understand where you're at. You did have to take the best player available.
Yeah.
But I do want to say I think CEH does a little bit more with this offense this year. I don't know if that necessarily takes anything from Kelsey, but I do see Cole stepping into number 2, and I see CEH carrying the ball more. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I would say it's pretty rocky ground.
Oh, wow. Is it going to make us go through?
Oh, wow. Okay.
We didn't put him on auto?
Doesn't look like it. Do you just want to force it? Can you force it?
Let's just get. Listen, we're in the first round. We'll just give him a couple. We'll give him a few extra. We'll wait till he gets down to about 30 seconds, and then we'll see what happens. But
are we expecting him?
Yeah, he should be here for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, and for me, like coming back on the turn here, there's a couple different ways you can do this at this point, right? You can go 0 RB because besides Tyreek Hill, every other wide receiver is left on the board.
Yeah.
I am an old school type dude. I've been playing fantasy for a long time. I am wary of doing that because running back dries up real quick, and I am neglecting our chat room here. So,
snap.
Ryan says tight in the first. Let's go. Hey, man, the only player I'd do that with would be old Travis Kelce. But, yeah, I think I'll probably have to go running back here. We'll see what Dan does. It looks like he's on auto there. So we'll if it doesn't make him go to auto after this timeout, then I'll force it to go to auto.
Yeah. And we hate to see Devontae Adams go there. That's not what you want to do.
Dude, that was so. And then of course his auto pick is Austin Eckler, who would have been my next pick for sure.
Great player.
I love Austin Eckler.
We know who you're picking. Come on.
Yeah, you kind of know who it is.
His baby right here.
Yeah. I love this guy. He's projected out as the RB7, in my rankings. I love the value at wide receiver later in the middle rounds. So I'm going to go my boy, Cam Akers, 24.3 touches in his last 6 games. I'm good with that. He just has to – I think that Sean McVay's offense is going to have him running the ball in a lot around the goal line. All right, let's see what old Bob does here. All right, who we got? Who's closest next? Tran, what are you looking at over here?
Well, it's going to depend on what he picks, but
shit.
I'm thinking probably either Antonio Gibson or he got him.
There you go. He's going.
Yeah.
There you go. Wait. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh no, he took out Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
I'm trying to fill out the running back, but because they do dry up pretty quickly. But I love Antonio Gibson. They ran through him a lot, and him and Terry McLaurin, which I've been trying to get for fucking ages. But I love the amount of volume he's been doing. He won me a couple of games last year, and I hated trading him out. But I feel like in my particular team with you guys this year, trading him out gave me a lot of value coming back in. But Gibson's a freaking monster. I feel like they're going to run a lot through him a lot this year. And he's going to probably score a lot more this year than he did last year.
He's going to score more than 11 touchdowns? Shoot.
I think so. Because remember, look, Fitzmagic always dries up like after the first 5 games.
Jason's on the clock here at the 2:05.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and hurry up and take it. But, my thing is this. Only advice I would give on this pick is if you truly respect the guys you're playing against, which I think I'm up against some good competition here, you have to take the running back there. You have to make sure you've got the guys with the carries. I hate it because I wouldn't normally pick Joe Mixon. My pick there would have been Nuke, but I respect the people I'm drafting against a little too much right now to leave myself vulnerable in that position.
Got you. All right, so then we had, after Joe Mixon, we had Najee Harris. Oh, we got our first quarterback off the board at the 2:07, Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's pairing Saquon Barkley with Patrick Mahomes, two potential, finishers in the number one finishers, basically.
And I like the Najee Harris pick by
I do
Vandy.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love Najee.
What do you like about what? What
I
is
mean,
so
I think they
appealing
are
about
just going to
Najee? Evan?
Pittsburgh is just going to run him into the ground. I think this year they're just going to give him the ball as much as they possibly can. He has great hands. Big Ben. They're saying that his arm's looking better. It looks like he has his zip back. But I mean, last year he did a lot. He didn't look like he wanted to get sacked. He was checking down a lot, and the fact that he has a capable back like that now, I think Najee's going to look great in that offense.
Well, the problem with last year was like Pittsburgh wasn't even doing that terribly bad at the beginning when they were running the ball, and then they just completely stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and then they just went like 50 passing the ball 50 times a game. Yeah.
Right, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I mean, just being able to have someone that they can run through, and that's obviously the reason why they drafted two extra offensive linemen, and then they just brought in another one too to replace DeCastro.
Little receiver run here.
Yeah, good.
So now we had DK Metcalf go to the Seahawks fan right there, and Jay. Calvin Ridley went next, and we had DeAndre Hopkins, then DeAndre Swift at the 211.
Right.
Did he snipe you, Evan, or you? Oh no, he said, "Cool, I'm good."
So Jay, I gotta ask.
No, I'm good.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, Jay,
no, you're good.
Why did you take DK over DeAndre? Realistically, just because you're a Hawks fan, or Jay?
He's muted.
Oh, he's muted? Or he doesn't hear me.
All right. I heard you, Mitchell. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
I'm trying to mute so you guys don't hear. I'm like beside an air conditioner, so.
Oh.
But anyway, sometimes you gotta have a selfish selection, So
Okay.
as a Seahawks fan, I want to take my boy DK, but at the same time, I look at D-Hop, and, I see a little age on that man. I'm not suggesting that he's not going to be, a top 10 talent at wide receiver this year. It's just I'm not a terribly optimistic person on Arizona's offensive situation currently. So I think, he kind of maybe isn't the D-Hop he was last year, and I think DK takes another step, after some of the fumbles or miscues he had this year, and takes a step further. So I'm on the high horse for DK right now.
That's good. Yeah, I mean that's kind of wild taking him over Calvin Ridley too. So I think I have Calvin Ridley as my wide receiver 3 in my rankings right now. But I can see it though, Jay.
I think realistically, I'm not on the crazy hype train for Kyle Pitts either. But if it does pan out like some people think it is, I think some of those balls that went Calvin Ridley's way are going to go somebody else's way.
That's fair. So wow. So Evan, Darren Waller in the 3rd at the 301. Talk me through that real quick, because that's surprising to me.
Yeah, so it is a mock draft, and I don't usually take a tight end, that early. So I'm just trying to see how my roster looks if I do take one of the, so-called big 3 kind of early on and secure one of those, because usually I kind of wait on tight end. So I'm just trying something different, honestly, just to see how my roster, pans out at the end.
I like it. Hey, this is the place for it, man. This is the place for it. And then speaking of a tight end of the 3rd, George Kittle.
I was high on Waller. I mean, that man gets targeted quite a bit. Especially in the red zone. So I was looking at him, honestly. So Kittle's kind of the next best option. I kind of just hope that San Francisco can get it together and keep, a healthy team if I have fantasy people from that team. But, we'll kind of see how it goes. But, I mean, he is another pretty targeted, the big 3 guys as far as tight ends go. So,
yeah, I'm good with it. So after Darren Waller at the 301, we had A.J. Brown, Michael Thomas, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, who we just spoke about, David Montgomery in the 3rd. That's interesting to me. We'll talk about that in a second, maybe. and then Josh Allen. So we have our second quarterback off the board at the 307 mark. And then we got Jason, Big Chill Squad on the board. You got two running backs, man. Are you thinking tight end right here? What are you thinking? I'm not tight end. I'm sorry, wide receiver.
Man, I am thinking wide receiver, and I am thinking Allen Robinson.
Oh wow! All those stats I poured in your ear like honey made you like him that much?
No, it was the quarterback getting drafted there in the first round, but kind of.
Okay. All right, Tran's on the board. So we had Allen Robinson go to Jason. Tran, you're on the board. You got two running backs as well. You want to keep pounding that running back position, or are you trying to go?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
No, I was actually wanting to go for Josh Allen, but because that kid has been improving so much for the last 3 years, and he's going to have yet another breakout year this year. I'll probably end up going with wide receiver. I don't even like to be on this Washington team because still not a big fan of the team right now. But I love Terry McLaurin. That guy was excellent last year from a team that just was completely trash, minus the defense. But the defense was doing quite well last year.
J.K. Dobbins goes off the board here.
Yeah.
Ooh,
feels like an auto pick.
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
Like, I hate. I'll put it this way: I hate drafts from the 11 because, like, it's at this point where I'm like, Lord have mercy. I don't really like a lot of the options here, but I want to further consolidate or solidify, we'll say, my running back position. And I think the best player available at that position is Chris Carson.
Yep.
If he stays healthy, I love him a lot. So then after Chris, we had J.K. Dobbins go. Then I picked Chris Carson, Keenan Allen, Robert Woods right off the board.
Ooh,
Robert Woods at 401 is that's really nice right there. I'm going to take my boy. I am super high on him. He is the number one target in Dallas, in my opinion. I'm going to Amari Cooper.
Jeez.
He was on pace for 176 targets in the games that Dak played with him.
And he's the only player that showed up when Andy Dalton was on the field.
Right.
So I mean that's fine. I can understand it.
So wow, we're moving at a glacial pace here, fellas. We're 23 minutes in. We're not even through the fourth round.
So I've got to point this out, Trent. Before you pick, you have taken two Washington football team members after claiming the quarterback would be done in week 6.
I know.
So
I know. I hate it.
You've got to pull yourself out of the gutter here, man.
He's like J.D. McKissick.
Yeah, let me get some J.D. right here.
And it's also just for, I guess, a little bit of not advice or just how I look at things, at least. Yeah. And when I'm on closer to the turn, you kind of have to reach sometimes to get that guy that you really, really like. And Amari Cooper wouldn't have came back to me in the 5th, but that was probably a little bit of a reach, but I'm okay with it because I'm going to go ahead and get my guy.
Yep.
In that instance.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's another reason I took Waller there. I knew if I wanted to see how my roster panned out with him on it, I wasn't going to get him, on the way back. At least I don't think I would have.
Right.
No, you seriously
wouldn't have taken him. I wouldn't have taken him, I promise.
I was going to. I literally had him.
Yeah.
Had the target on him.
Jay had him queued up.
Oh, wow, Tran. You did it.
I really didn't want to take a quarterback so early out, but
that's at his ADP right now.
Yeah.
If you believe in him, he was the number one quarterback by a mile through, I think it was like week 10 or so when he injured his shoulder. So depends on
and I feel like Kyler Murray's he's gonna probably still be throwing a lot more, with kind of his backs. Chase Edmonds, as we've all talked, we have a hard time really gauging, how well he's going to do. Now, he could do phenomenally this year, but the fact that they've got such a, powerhouse of an offense at this point at wide receiver, it's going to make it a whole lot easier for Kyler Murray. And he's also one to scramble a lot too. So.
Yeah, I like it, man. So let's, I want to recap real quick. after I picked Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb went off the board. I guess Bob was trying to make a point to me about that. And then Kyler Murray. I'm going to go ahead and shorten this just for posterity or just for like time's sake. I'm going to go ahead and shorten the pick clock because we are about halfway through the fourth and we're almost approaching 30 minutes. And let's just not do that. Oh, never mind. I can't change it. So we're going to just have to live with it.
Go faster.
Yep.
No issues at all. So we had Miles Sanders go off at the 4:05, Josh Jacobs at the 4:06. I know you like Miles Sanders, Jason.
I'm a fan, man. I really think that the opportunities are still there. I know a lot of people think I'm crazy. I just look at the offense they ran in Indianapolis last year. I'm thinking Sirianni's bringing something similar over. Some draft picks that have been made have been compared to, Indy guys on that Indy offense. So I really think they're trying to do something similar there. And if that's the case, I see them getting the JT carries, the bulk load.
Okay. I'm good with that. I like it. After that, Josh Jacobs went off the board, Chris Godwin, and then Myles Gaskin. Jay, so I kind of have a hard and fast rule with running backs. If they weren't drafted in the at least the top 6 rounds last season, obviously barring rookies, and now they're being drafted in like the first 3 rounds, I'm not touching them. There's a historical precedent that they just are not going to work out. Why do you like Myles Gaskin? Is it just the workload you think he's going to get, or?
Yeah, I think the workload does go up a little bit, but I think more or less this is kind of along the terms of like a Chris Carson kind of pick. I think he's a solid part of that offense. I think he kind of got his touchdown carries kind of diminished a little bit, and I think those kind of return a little bit better this coming season. But I mean, it's more of like a feel. I don't really have a very good reason, honestly, for picking him. I just kind of it seems like he's come to me a few times, and I don't know. I'm just on the Myles Gaskin train, but it was kind of funny because, we're just talking about Miles Sanders. Why not talk about Myles Gaskin?
Exactly. They spell their names different, but
yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to hit Evans. Let me recap real quick, and then we'll hit Evans' pick. So Myles Gaskin goes off the board. Then Travis Etienne at the 4th. That's nice. Julio Jones, Mike Evans.
That's who I wanted. I really wanted Travis Etienne.
Yeah. Then you took Deontay Johnson as your wide receiver 1. That's a spicy thing, man, for real.
I waited. I mean, obviously, I waited on receiver. I'm not big on Thielen or Galladay, with the quarterback play. I know people are thinking that Carolina's going to get better quarterback production. I'm not there, so I think Deontay Johnson is the number 1 there, and he's going to get peppered with targets. Like I said, Big Ben, those short, quick throws. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. So in PPR, I like Deontay Johnson there. And then Dak Prescott. I'm a Cowboys truther. I wanted to get him in this draft.
I feel you. Hey, no worries at all.
He could potentially be the quarterback 1, with those numbers he was putting up last year.
He really could be, man. He really
we had him at one or 2 when we did our deep dive on Dallas. So
yep. So we had after Prescott,
and in a 12 team. Yeah, sorry, 12-team league. I don't think he's coming back. He would have been gone.
Yeah, probably. So after Prescott, T.J. Hawkinson goes. That's a bit early for him, in my opinion. But hey, I think his ADP is in the 5th round. So if Alex wanted to get him, that's a place he's gonna have to take him there. Then we had Lamar Jackson, Kareem, Cooper Kupp, Kyle Pitts, Brandon Ayuk, Russell Wilson, Mark Andrews, and now we are at the 5-10 here. So we saw kind of a run on. So we saw 3 quarterbacks and 3 tight ends go off the board in this particular round.
That's pretty crazy.
I would have preferred T.J. Hawkinson, but for me, Mark Andrews, it just comes down to, Lamar Jackson doesn't like to throw. I mean, we know he loves to run, and with the Ravens being a run-first offense, Mark Andrews is just a safety net for Lamar Jackson. So anytime he just needs to check down, anytime he just needs an easy TD. He's just going to throw it straight to Mark Andrews because I'm not a huge fan of oh God, Hollywood Brown. Couldn't even think of his name for a second.
Son of a gun, of course. Bob went ahead and sniped me. That's all right. It's freaking fine, no problem. You know what? I'm going to swing for a little bit of upside here. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're gonna play it safe. We're still in the 5th round. I'm going to take. This is going to be a little controversial, but I'm going to take who is the San Francisco 49ers starting running back. No matter, as long as he's healthy, he is the starting running back. So I like him there. And then he went ahead and made my choice a little bit easier. I swear to God, I hate picking out of the 11 spot. I'm going to keep pounding running back here, though. I'm going to pick a player that right now he's not. So I'm taking Javonte Williams. He's not going to get the carries probably in the beginning of the season, but what you're looking for with him is to be a J.K. Dobbins, a Cam Akers type of player that comes on really, really, really strong in the second half of the season, and that's when you want it, man. That's when you're leading up to your fantasy championship. So
here we go. We know he's ending that season as starting.
I think so as well. They didn't trade up in the second round to get him for no reason.
No, absolutely not.
So after that, we had Mike Davis go. Then we had T. Higgins. Tran, that's actually the other player I was looking at was T. Higgins.
We've been talking about T. Higgins for every single conversation we've ever had.
Yeah,
I think T. Higgins is going to do far better than the rookie coming with Jamar Chase. I think Jamar just has to get acclimated, and there's, they don't have like Chris Godwin / Mike Evans type of wide receivers, but they've got fairly talented wide receivers over there anyways, and with Joe Burrows at the helm, I think they'll do fine. And especially with Joe Mixon there too, it's going to take a lot of targets away from all the receivers as a whole. So I think the one who's going to benefit the most is just going to be T. Higgins at all of them.
So Chris says he grabbed Hawk because he was not getting back to him at that spot. Chris, I'm going to have to apologize to you. I definitely thought that you were someone else, so that's my bad, my man. Your name is not Alex. But I'm liking it. So let me give y'all. Oh yeah, all right, here we go. So you got 2 running backs and 1 wide receiver. I mean, your team is super balanced.
Yeah, and he's got basically 2 CMCs. That Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick is just nasty. I mean, if you think back to CMC's first blow-up year, Kareem Hunt was right behind him in Kansas City. So if CEH could ever get back to that level of production, you're talking about 2 top 3 running backs. I mean, it's crazy.
It's spicy.
Yep. So
let's see. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks off the board with Devontae Smith. Okay.
Ooh, I love that boy.
Talk to me a little bit about that because I'm not sold on Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I'm not absolutely sold on him, but I think he's, they finally might have, their wide receiver 1 there. I mean, he is undersized. I get all that, but I mean, the man has just, defied all odds, and I think he's going to continue to do it at the next level. The only thing that I'm a little down on him with is I'm not sure if Hurts can take that next step, as far as his passing game goes.
Right.
But Devontae Smith is such a timing based, route runner that I think that's going to take a little bit to mesh with him and Hurts. But if they can do it, if they can get it down packed, then Devontae Smith I think he can go to the next level.
Absolutely.
And he is their number 1, so to get him in the 7th at, hopefully my wide receiver 3, I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, man. I'm not mad at that at all either. I mean, and I really like the Deebo Samuel pick you had as well. I think Deebo is, besides obviously, Kittle's the number 1 target there, but I think Deebo is a close second. As long as he can stay healthy, which is He's never been able to
stay healthy. Yeah.
I like him. I like him a lot more than I like Brandon Ayuk, especially since you got him to about a half a round later. All right, who we got?
Well, damn it, they took Goddard on me. Shit.
Tilt
I wasn't expecting that. All right, so I have to pull something deeper out.
pick.
Bag of tricks here. Let's go with a little Chase Edmonds just to be safe. Just have a little Chase Edmonds there. Maybe it works out for him. Yeah, maybe it works out for him.
Ooh, I'll be honest with y'all. I do not like the wide receivers that are here right now. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not liking this team with the tight end in the first round construction.
I think you're doing a great job. I think you really are with what you got, with where you were. I think you're killing it.
So, I think Will Fuller's ADP is ridiculous.
Which 100% agree. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm definitely I'm going wide receiver here. I don't like him as a human being. Well, I would say a human being. I don't necessarily.
I hate his soul.
He's kind of like a diva a little bit in his own way, but I'm going Juju. I think he's going to get quite a few targets as well. I don't know if I believe the whole like he's going to the outside type thing because he's shown in the past like Matt Harmon's reception perception says he is not good at press coverage. He is not good at man coverage. So they need to protect him in the slot as much as possible. And Jay, I'm going to go exactly where you were talking about a while ago. I'm going Will Fuller. He's my wide receiver 3. I'm definitely going to hit the pound wide receiver, but he's going to miss just the first game of the season. He's by far and away, in my opinion, the most talented wide receiver in Miami.
He's going to miss more than the first game. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, with injuries, I'm saying he's guaranteed to miss the first game. You're right about that, yeah.
All right. And so honestly, if Jalen Waddle emerges on that offense too, it's going to take a lot off of Will Fuller.
Look, I'm just going to say it. Let's make sure Tua can throw the ball at all first before we get into any of this shit.
I think people got like some crazy googly eyes on rookies right now. I don't know.
100%, Jay. Go ahead and preach because that's a God's honest truth, man. People like it's dynasty season for everybody. We all had a rookie draft, so maybe a couple months ago. I think ours was last month or so. But everybody loves these rookies so much, and I know Justin Jefferson was great, but that's not he is the exception to the rule.
Yeah, people don't just break Randy Moss's records every fucking year. You know, it doesn't happen that way. Super frustrating. You know, when you talk about rookies, you want the running backs because they're going to, if they spend a high round draft pick on this guy,
the first round running backs,
return on investment. You know, we know how the league is now when it comes to running backs. So you want to squeeze that lemon early, but nah, man, these receivers, it's getting a little crazy.
You and Evan pretty much said the same thing anyway with Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. I mean, you really have question marks at quarterback whether or not that's going to be something that ends up being productive or not.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't like Jalen. I don't like Devontae Smith specifically because he has 11 games. He has 11 games against I think 9 of the top 10 corners and 2 rookies that played with him at Bama.
Oh yeah.
So 11 of his 17 games, he's going to see
schedule strength.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Who you picking?
I want Curtis Samuel because he touched the ball 100 times last year.
Was it 100 times for real?
It really was. Between runs, end arounds, little pitches and shit, and catching the ball down the field, he touched it 100 times.
That's kind of crazy. Oh, you bastards! Who just took Tyler Boyd and Laviska Shenault?
Laviska,
dude, I'm getting sniped.
Like him.
I'm getting sniped from such a far away. Like I ain't got to pick him up for a while, but yeah. So we have a massive wide receiver run right here. I'm just going to say Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, Jarvis Landry, Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Laviska Shenault, all off the board.
Jay, get you some Corey Davis. You know you need that high life.
Yeah, I'd say I really might. I mean, the Jets are potentially going to be interesting this year. As far as value right now, it's
getting kind of gross, isn't it?
real fast too.
That's something I've found, man, from doing these mock drafts. This seems like a very top heavy season.
Yeah, here comes the dang Trey Sermon. I see is pretty high in ADP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll just go with it.
Oh, he did it. All right,
I
continue.
do like Corey Davis in this particular spot.
Yeah.
I don't like him at all. Corey Davis showed up for the Tennessee Titans one season of his entire career, just enough to get this paycheck, and I don't foresee him doing anything with it. He's Kenny Britt all over again.
Oh,
They just don't have enough other options there to really play around.
Who was the guy they got last year? The Jets did.
Mims.
Denzel Mims.
Mims.
Yeah, they're talking about
him.
Mims might not even play.
Really?
Yeah, he's not. His training camp, news that's coming out. I don't know how much you put into that, but besides that, I think it's Rashard Perriman,
Elijah Moore,
Jamison Crowder.
yeah.
God knows you can trust the Jets.
Corey Davis.
So.
Yeah, so Corey Davis is, I think, by far the best option there.
Ooh, Fournette.
Fournette over Ronald Jones, huh?
I like Gallup. Yep.
Evan, were you looking for a stack there, or just he was kind of the best player available?
Not necessarily, but since he was still there, and I do have Prescott, if God forbid Amari gets hurt or CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, then he'll be the next man up, and he'll have those 2 to 3 weeks where he does kind of go off and maybe win you a week at a flex spot. So I like him that late, especially with having Prescott on my roster already.
I got to ask you about Fournette. Do you think that all the carries there at the end of the season was, similar to the old Patriot style of play, keeping that guy fresh-legged until the postseason and just pound away, or do you think that was legitimate progression in the offense that's going to transfer over into the beginning of this season?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think they kind of were riding the hot hand, and the fact that he was fresh, maybe a little bit more fresh, maybe that had a lot to do with him being able to get that production late in the year. But I also think he took a liking to Brady, this team, this offense, and Fournette can be kind of a head case sometimes. And the fact that he's in a happy place, I think that he can, he'll actually give him his all, and he could be there for the whole season this year. But they've already said that it's going to be a split backfield. But if something happens to Ronald Jones, he misses a pass block or something, he could easily find himself right back on the bench. So
right.
And plus, I only took 2 running backs so far. So, and that was another thing is I haven't done many mocks out of the 1 spot. So that's kind of why I chose the 1. I don't like my team much at all, but hey, once again, that's why we mock, right?
Right.
Right.
All right, Jay. So you love the
because
Jets.
I would much rather be at the turn,
Oh yeah.
I like picking out. I like picking out of the 12 spot, or where or the 11. I'm okay with that.
Hey, dude, you can have it next time because I don't like this at all. I think in redraft,
your squad's turning out.
It's okay. I think in redraft I kind of like top 6, right? So you're going to get one of those guaranteed, workhorse type running backs. After that, it's kind of it's a little hit or miss, but we'll see how the squad turns out. And
God, I hate you, Jason.
And we have a snipe.
You little bastard.
You mean you giant bastard?
Yeah. Yeah.
He watches every Colts game every year.
I do.
Yeah.
I gotta keep that lens out, man.
Yeah, he does.
You guys think Wentz is going to be okay in that?
Absolutely.
He's going to take a step forward again, finally?
Yes. I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't have any good reason.
I
just
don't.
don't.
A lot of talent, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he's flat. He's shown you. He's shown us.
Which one of you sons of bitches took Ryan Tannehill already? Oh, Chris, you son of a gun. He got me. So I think I am going to go ahead and pull the trigger with the quarterback here. I'm going to go with Father Time.
Good
Tom
job.
Brady. I mean,
can't go wrong.
You talking about in the what are we at the 9th round? I'm more than happy with that. And then I'm back on. Go ahead, Jason.
It warms my heart that you thought of Tanny first.
Oh, dude, I love Ryan Tannehill this year. Give me all the Ryan Tannehill.
I'm glad this is on YouTube.
Yeah, I have him as my number 7.
I'm recording that.
He said he's glad it's on YouTube. All right, so I'm going to draft who I think is going to be the number 1 wide receiver in Jacksonville, and that's Marvin Jones. I don't know when DJ Chark went. He went about 2.5 rounds earlier, 3.5 rounds earlier, 2.5 it looks like.
7.5.
Yeah, so if Marvin Jones is healthy, Marvin Jones has been nothing but a top 15 wide receiver his entire career when he's healthy. Well, maybe not with the Bengals, but I just really like him there. He's a veteran wide receiver who I think he's played with a shitload of different quarterbacks throughout his career. He can meld into whatever kind of he wants to be. And I hope to God I snipe Bob on that one.
I love Jones in best ball too, man.
Dude, in best ball, Marvin Jones is a cheat.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, what did I get him in the 10th? Yeah, I'm super happy about that.
That's what I mean, yeah. Exactly. Handcuffed to Zeke.
Oh, yeah.
And then you took Hollywood after you said you didn't like him.
I don't.
Trent, you abuse yourself.
I do.
You truly hate yourself, and it's on display. Let me get that me cold.
Cold-blooded. Oh,
me cold-blooded.
So
Here's another one I like.
Yeah, I wrote a blurb about him being a kind of one of the breakout type guys out of the. I don't know. Was it the first? I think it was the top 40 wide receivers taken or something. Or not 40. I'm sorry. Top 25 wide receivers taken. I think he's got the he definitely has the athletic ability to do it. It's just does he have it all between the ears? I'm not sure.
Right. And he's in the offense to do it for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we had Trevor Lawrence. So we had after Miko, we had Mike Gesicki, Trevor Lawrence, Gus Edwards, the Gus bus rolling down the lane. Tyler Higbee, who I kind of like as a late round tight end flyer. James Conner, who's probably going to be the goal line back in Arizona. And then we're at the 2 spot here. Let's see what we got.
I think I don't even know if this qualifies, but a selfish prediction here for Mr. Higbee. I think he kind of flies up there and sits around maybe around the top of tier 2 tight end this year.
Okay.
With old Matty Stafford throwing him the ball potentially.
I mean, best quarterback of his career, right?
I'm not a Goff hater, but I think you do have to say that Stafford is better than Goff.
But you're a realist, and really, Jared Goff is pretty shitty.
I love Jared Goff. Fuck you.
Mitchell loves everybody.
I do. I'm a quarterback apologist. Go ahead and tattoo it on my forehead.
Darrell Henderson, you're taking my handcuffs. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's literally this round right now is handcuff round right now.
And Jamal Williams. Okay.
I got my sights on another one right here. If old Singletary comes to me.
Oh, Singletary. Yeah. Oh, you already took Zach Moss?
No, I don't have Moss, but I'll gladly take other people's handcuffs.
Dude, and that's a viable strategy, honest to God. Like late in drafts, take these high upside guys like an Alexander Madison, for instance. Like if something were to happen to Dalvin Cook, you have a running back 1 on your team, and you can take him with the last
Steps pick. Right in.
Yeah, dude, and like you can take him with the last pick, and if let's say that Dalvin Cook gets hurt, and we don't want anybody to get hurt. Let's just say he does get hurt in week 1. congratulations, you just won your league. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous.
Right.
Yep.
So Jason, you took Irv Smith as your tight end 1 on your team.
Yeah. I'm really upset I didn't get Tanyan. I kind of wanted him.
Yeah.
I kind of think if Aaron plays or doesn't play, it still helps him out. So it really doesn't matter. So I really wanted Tanyan. So that was kind of just my duct tape.
So I did. So I took Henry Ruggs in the 11th round. I'm at this point in drafts. I'm typically looking just for upside, and Henry Ruggs is fast as a freaking blink.
Big.
And, you know, and
oh, never mind. He's only 6'4". I'm thinking of the other.
well, Henry Ruggs is not that bad. I think he's like 6 foot, something like that, 180.
Yeah.
I'm going to take another guy here.
Do it.
Because I really like my running back depth. I really don't necessarily want to draft more than like 4 or 5 running backs, especially in like a 14 round type thing.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, oh Jesus, I messed up. So I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and take another wide receiver who showed out a lot when Julio Jones was hurt last year. I love Russell Gage late in drafts. Let's listen. Kyle Pitts is the next coming of Jesus, apparently, or the next coming of Tony Gonzalez, I should say. But you know what I mean? Like he's a rookie still. He might struggle a little bit out the gate. I don't know, but I love the proven production from Russell Gage, at least in 2020.
Yeah, I liked him. I knew he wasn't coming to me, but
we got Jonnu Smith right there to Bob.
So I'm in the same boat as you. 5 running backs right now. So I'm looking for potential, especially at wide receiver.
Yep.
And let's see, Nelson Aguilar, Jalen Reagor. Who else do we got? That might be it, but potential number 1 receiver, in their offenses. So that'll kind of be where my eyes are set.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all.
It's such a hard pick for me right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be smart. I'm going to pick this year's. Since I didn't get Nyheim Hines, I'm going to pick this year's Nyheim Hines and Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, you like love you some Kenny Gainwell.
I just know it's coming.
I do too.
And honestly, Jason, that gives you a little bit of a handcuff there as well because you took Miles Sanders.
So, so now I don't.
Let me ask y'all a question. I'll ask the room. How do y'all feel about handcuffs in redraft, for instance?
If you can get it, do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Tran, what do you think about handcuffs in redraft?
In a redraft?
Yeah. I mean, Dynasty is a little bit more important, obviously, because you're
Right.
keeping that player for freaking ever. But
I mean, handcuffs are fun in redrafts. Just because someone obviously gets injured, you've got that immediate backup. Versus like if you're late in the season and your guy goes down, you're scrambling to find someone who's even going to give you, even decent value at that point.
what about you, Evan? Do you target handcuffs in redraft or?
So, I like in the late rounds. I will target some of the high end ones like you were talking about, like the Madisons, and the Tony Pollards, or Kenny Gainwells, who can already even if they're not necessarily for handcuff purposes, they'll have work on passing downs. And then if the starter is to go down, then they step up into a prominent role. So I think it's a good strategy. I mean, I don't think you have to reach for a handcuff, but if they fall to you in the later rounds, I think it is a good strategy.
That's my thought as well. What about you, Jay? You've been playing for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like strategy-wise, I think the best thing to do is value pick. So if you got somebody that's there, it's your handcuff or somebody else's handcuff, and like we've all pretty much said, if there's some other production value or something, just value pick. Whatever's at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that. Jason, you're not a handcuff guy, I don't think, are you?
Well, I am and I'm not. So the thing is, okay, so there was plenty of guys who can't play 16 games. Now they're going to play 17. So that's one thing to think of. But more importantly, when you look at like a situation like what I did with Kenny Gainwell, we're expecting game script for him. He's not just a handcuff. We're expecting him to carry the ball in specific situations, or catch the ball more likely in specific situations. We have a quarterback in Jalen Hurts who's probably not going to be just launching it downfield. He's probably going to rely on that type of gameplay. So for me, it's more just about knowing, and we talked about this last week or the week before, I can't remember when the last show was, but it's more about opportunity and just knowing deeper into the draft where opportunity still exists.
100%. And that's what I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to get all y'all's opinions, of course, first, but just for the folks out there, if you're newer or whatever, even if you're not newer, just they probably need standalone value unless you're getting them in like the bare bones last round of your draft. Alexander Madison does not have standalone value because Dalvin Cook is getting everything. But if you're getting him as the last pick in your draft, I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. Let's just see what happens. And if nothing happens for 2 or 3 weeks, then you can drop him and pick somebody else up. No harm, no foul. All right, here in the 13th, we had Blake Jarwin, my man, Blake Jarwin, go off the board. Cole Beasley, Tariq Cohen, Justin Fields, Jamison Crowder, and then somebody dropped off the old stream there, but that's all right.
Oh, Jason.
Old Jason. And Van Jefferson there. So this, let's see who we got. Who is that?
So something I've kind of also done here, not really intentionally, but just as it's kind of progressed, was I took, let's see, who did I took Corey Davis, right? And kind of as a little bit of added insurance, I also took Jamison Crowder because I am kind of cornering, the Jets receivers and maybe hoping that something can pan out here. I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen with the Jets this year, but
they're going to suck.
I mean, they are probably, but, let's say it goes the other way. If it goes the other way, well, look.
I hate drafting behind
Maybe
Bob.
I'm sitting pretty.
Bob, let me tell you something. It's the last time I'm going to ask you to draft with me. No, I'm just playing, man. That was a great pick. I wanted Deshaun Watson right there just in case he starts. I mean, my goodness, what a great
yeah,
dude. Jesus.
That would be the pick of the year if you get him that late and he ends up playing. Yeah.
Dude, I'll have to tell you later, Evan. There's a kid in a dude in my division, the Scott Fishbowl. He has the craziest draft strategy I've ever seen, and I'll have to hit you up about that a little bit later. But Deshaun Watson was his quarterback one. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm taking John Brown here because kind of a little interest.
Man, I was hoping.
Yeah, dude. I like Henry Ruggs, but I feel like after one game, I'm going to be able to tell 1 or 2 games. I'm going to be able to tell who's going to be the number one there in Oakland. I'm sorry. Oh Jesus, Las Vegas now.
Yeah.
And then I'm going with somebody who I think is the tight end sleeper of the freaking year, Jared Cook.
It really is.
Who else is getting targets, man? I mean, we all love Mike Williams. Like he's awesome, but he can't stay healthy. It's just I can't put that many eggs in that basket. So why not Jared Cook? And Jared Cook's not been the picture of health either, but man, we'll see. And for Christ's sake, he's my last round pick, so I really don't care.
Yeah. No, if Komet hadn't been there for me, I was coming for him.
Yeah. Last round here, gentlemen. Amon Ross Brown. I really like that pick there. I think he is he could probably be second in Detroit in targets.
Yep.
Because they got a whole bunch of veterans over there, don't they?
Detroit has Tyrell Williams,
Yep.
Quintez Cephas.
Rashard Perriman.
Do they have Perriman?
I think they got Perriman, don't they?
Oh, my mistake. I said he was on the Jets. He was last year.
They got.
Yeah, so I don't care enough about him to really keep up.
I don't either. And honestly, behind TJ Hawkinson, I could see Amon-Ra taking most of the targets behind him.
We'll see, man. We might be looking for a Alvin Kamara type season from DeAndre Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Swift should get a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
So we're seeing a couple quarterbacks go off here in the let's see, 4 quarterbacks in the final 2 rounds of the draft. Oh, 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah, everybody's like me, kind of held out, but yeah.
Well, I feel
when
good
you can
about
get Carson Wentz in 14, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and that's why I love waiting on quarterback, man. Like I said, I tried something different because I don't usually draft from the one spot, and and that's why you wait on quarterback. Because I mean, look what you can get late in drafts.
Because quarterbacks, even terrible quarterbacks, can get you 15, 20 points, easily a game. It's hard to get a good running back or a good wide receiver that's going to get you that same production. So, later in the rounds.
So, Tran, you mentioned that, and you took Kyler Murray in the second, right?
Yeah. Well, hey,
no, I'm legit. I'm just asking. Do you like your team?
Yeah. No, I actually took Kyler in the 4th.
Oh, it was the 4th. I'm sorry. Oh, it looks like the second from what I'm looking at here. My bad, man.
Yeah.
So what I'll
say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jason.
I'm just saying you say you like your team, but you don't. But you told us you didn't like half the players as you were drafting them.
Look, Marquise Brown is literally just a backup if I have to, because
right.
Yeah, but I mean, and like I said, sometimes it's just based off of value for me, because like I said, even though I'm not a big fan of the Ravens at all, anything in the catching game, we all know they're a run first team, but if anybody's going to get some targets, it's going to be Mark Andrews.
Agreed. Agreed. So shoot, fellas, this was not fun for me. I did not like picking from the 111. But shoot, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take a screenshot of this or something, and we'll definitely put it up on Twitter and see who the folks who has the best team. Put it that way. I'm losing my ability to talk today, so we might as well cut this short. Anybody got anything to advertise, plug to the room, anything like that?
Not I.
Nada?
No, I think we're good to go.
All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate y'all. Let me shout out a couple people here. Chris, thank you for drafting with us. Kyle, you didn't draft with us, but thank you for being here, I guess. Keith, thank you. Nick Burnett, at Nick Burnett 23 on Twitter. I'm actually in the Slipknot division of the Scott Fishbowl 11 with him. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Vandy Grad, writes for going for 2. Thank you, brother. Bob Gilchrist, always thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'll be on Clubhouse here in a few minutes. And then Eagle Dan Turner, drafted with us as well. So for the Fantasy Friends, our first rebranded podcast, I want to thank Tran. I want to thank Jay. I want to thank, I'm not, hold on a second. Bob says it sucks following him, he is told. So don't follow Bob. No, I'm just playing. Definitely follow Bob. I popped myself. Evan, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it, bro.
No, thank you guys, man. Anytime.
Absolutely. Well, Erik, at fantasybarbecue.com or .com. Fantasybarbecue.com.
Now you gotta go buy it.
Listen, I know people that can code. It'll be great. No, Fantasy Barbecue on Twitter. Y'all be good. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. We're out. See you, fellas.